What if I told you that one of Food Network's most beloved chefs almost never made it to television? That the woman who would go on to transform thousands of terrible cooks into confident home chefs started her journey in a small town in upstate New York with nothing but a dream and an unshakable determination? Today, we're celebrating the incredible life of Anne Burrell, whose spiky blonde hair and no-nonsense attitude made her a household name. But have you ever wondered what drove this culinary powerhouse to dedicate her life to teaching others? What was it about her approach that could turn even the most hopeless kitchen disasters into success stories? Picture this. It's 1969 in Cazenovia, New York. A baby girl is born who will one day become the chef that millions of Americans turn to when they want to learn how to cook. But Anne Burrell's path wasn't always clear. Growing up in a close-knit family, she discovered something magical happening in her grandmother's kitchen. Can you imagine being that young child, standing on a step stool, watching flour transform into bread, seeing simple ingredients become something extraordinary? What moment in your own childhood sparked a passion that still drives you today? Anne's early fascination with cooking wasn't just about the food, it was about the transformation. She attended Canisius College in Buffalo, but something was calling her elsewhere. Have you ever felt that pull towards something completely different from what everyone expected of you? That's exactly what Anne experienced when she made the bold decision to pursue her true calling at the Culinary Institute of America. But here's where Anne's story gets really interesting. She didn't just graduate and start cooking. She flew to Italy to immerse herself in authentic Italian cuisine. Picture a young American chef, probably barely speaking the language, working alongside Italian nonnas who had been perfecting their craft for decades. What kind of courage does it take to throw yourself into a completely foreign environment just to perfect your craft? This wasn't just education, this was transformation. When Anne returned to New York, she didn't take the easy path. She worked her way through some of the most demanding kitchens in the city. And if you've ever wondered why Anne seems so comfortable handling pressure on television, well, now you know. Those grueling restaurant shifts, the perfectionist head chefs, the dinner rushes that could break even experienced cooks. That's where Anne developed her signature tough love approach. But think about this. How does someone go from working behind the scenes in high-end restaurants to becoming the face that millions of people trust to teach them cooking? The transition wasn't immediate. Anne spent years building her reputation, perfecting not just her cooking skills, but her ability to communicate complex techniques in ways that everyday people could understand. When Food Network discovered Anne, they found something special. Here was a chef who didn't just know how to cook, she knew how to teach. But what really set Anne apart? Was it just her distinctive look with that iconic spiky blonde hair? Or was there something deeper? The answer came in 2008 when Anne launched Secrets of a Restaurant Chef. For the first time, home cooks could peek behind the curtain of professional kitchens. Anne wasn't just showing people recipes, she was revealing the techniques that professional chefs use to make food extraordinary. Can you imagine the confidence that viewers gained when they realized they could create restaurant-quality dishes in their own kitchens? But Anne's real breakthrough came in 2010 with Worst Cooks in America. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched someone try to cook and wondered how they survive day to day? Anne saw those people not as hopeless cases, but as diamonds in the rough. What kind of patience and vision does it take to see potential in someone who can't even boil water properly? Anne's approach on Worst Cooks was revolutionary. She combined tough criticism with genuine care. She'd call out mistakes without mercy, but she'd also celebrate every small victory. Think about the contestants who came on that show, people who were genuinely afraid of their own kitchens. What must it have felt like for them to go from burning toast to creating complete meals under Anne's guidance? Over more than a decade, Anne transformed hundreds of terrible cooks into confident home chefs. But here's what made her special. She never made anyone feel stupid. She made them feel capable. When someone finally nailed a technique they'd been struggling with, you could see the genuine joy in Anne's eyes. Have you ever had a teacher who believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself? Anne's personal life remained largely private, but those close to her knew a different side. Married to Stuart Claxton, she balanced her demanding career with deep personal relationships. She maintained strong friendships within the culinary community and remained close to her family. But what drove someone to give so much of themselves to helping others succeed in the kitchen? The answer might be found in Anne's philosophy about cooking. She believed that cooking wasn't just about feeding people. It was about bringing families together, about creating confidence, about transforming everyday moments into something special. When you think about it, isn't that exactly what she did for every person she taught? Anne continued hosting Worst Cooks in America well into the 2020s, wrote cookbooks, and appeared on countless other shows. But her real legacy isn't in the episodes she filmed or the books she wrote. It's in the millions of people who learned to cook because of her encouragement. Today, the culinary world mourns the loss of Anne Burrell, who passed away at her Brooklyn home at age 55. But think about this. How do you measure the impact of someone who spent their career empowering others? How do you quantify the confidence she gave to people who thought they'd never be able to cook? The tributes pouring in from colleagues, students, and fans tell the real story. These aren't just remembrances of a celebrity chef. They're testimonials from people whose lives were genuinely changed. Former contestants crediting Anne with helping them overcome their fear of cooking. Fellow chefs praising her dedication to culinary education. Fans sharing stories of how her shows gave them the courage to try new recipes. Anne Burrell didn't just teach people how to cook, she taught them that they were capable of more than they imagined. In a world full of celebrity chefs focused on their own fame, Anne focused on lifting others up. She proved that the best teachers aren't those who show off their own skills, but those who help others discover skills they didn't know they had. So as we remember Anne Burrell today, let's think about her true legacy. It's not in the restaurants where she worked or the shows she hosted. It's in every kitchen where someone feels confident enough to try a new recipe, in every family dinner that brings people together, in every moment when someone realizes they can create something wonderful with their own hands. What will you cook tonight? And when you do, will you remember the chef who spent her life teaching us that we're all more capable than we think? Rest in peace, Chef Anne Burrell. Your lessons live on in every kitchen you touched.